Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Film Fans. In today's video, we are going to discuss the reasons why Hollywood will not hire Jennifer Lawrence from now on. Make sure you watch till the end. Now without further ado, let's begin. Number 10. She overshares. Jennifer is constantly sharing relatable experiences in order to appear relatable to her audience. However, she has a tendency to overshare, which might backfire. When she acknowledged disrespecting Hawaiian culture while filming The Hunger Games, it was one of her worst controversies. Jennifer was filming in Hawaii, where she spends a lot of time in wetsuits, which can be rather irritating. So, when filming in Hawaii in 2016, she admitted to scratching her butt on some sacred ceremonial rocks on The Graham Norton Show. She allegedly shifted the rocks so much that one of them fell loose and caused a landslide. The Hawaiians mistook it for a sign of a curse, but Jennifer was simply being disrespectful. She apologized on Facebook after the reaction, but many people did not believe her. Number 9. Post-Oscars flop. Jennifer Lawrence was the highest-paid actress on the planet when she starred in blockbusters like The Hunger Games and Silver Linings Playbook. Her career has stalled since she earned an Oscar for her part in Silver Linings Playbook. Since then, pretty much every picture she's done has flopped, and none of them have garnered her much critical or commercial praise. She'd also filmed a space movie with Chris Pratt called Passengers, which you'd think would be a hit with such big names, but it flopped and was highly disliked. Following this, studios were no longer ready to risk having Jennifer as their main lead. Number 8. Public persona. Jennifer's loud and quirky demeanor seemed to fascinate the globe after she got very famous for her acting, and it began to make her less convincing as an actress. She was given the persona of a cool girl who would say whatever she wanted, get drunk, and crack inappropriate jokes. Even though many people liked it initially, it quickly became annoying to the general population. And anything she does today to be quirky and relatable gets panned by the media, who accuse her of trying too hard. Even her notorious Oscars fall has been called a hoax, with many believing she staged the whole affair to gain publicity. All of this isn't ideal if you're attempting to play serious roles, so most well-known actors prefer to avoid the media as much as possible. Number 7. Mother. Mother was planned to be an artsy film that would resurrect Jen's career, but it had the opposite effect. After experiencing box office flops with major films, she returned to her indie roots and collaborated with her partner at the time. The film is a scary avant-garde horror picture that provided her with the opportunity to play a dramatic role. However, the public and critics alike disliked it following its premiere. Jennifer's acting, as well as the entire premise of the film, was criticized. At the end of the day, it didn't help her career, and it only served to reinforce her downward spiral. Number 6. Hollywood enemies. Jennifer has engaged in a few feuds over the years, since she is so outspoken and regularly covered by the media. One of them was with Anderson Cooper, who made some questionable remarks regarding her Oscars fall. Jen tripped while stepping up to the stage to win her Oscar for Best Actress in 2013. Many people were unsure if the shocking fall was real or if it was staged for publicity. Anderson Cooper, the CNN host, was one of those persons. Lawrence said on a podcast that she watched Cooper talking about it a few days later and that his remarks that the fall could have been false damaged her. It was so upsetting because it was this horrifying humiliation that had taken my life. I'm not sure I'll ever get another chance to give a speech like that. Not having a speech didn't sit well with me. Lawrence allegedly confronted Cooper at a Christmas party later. According to the source, she was enraged when she confronted him. But it appears that everything is fine now, as Anderson has apologized profusely for his remarks. Number 5. Rude to fans. When you're out in public, I'm sure it's annoying and even frightening to be approached by fans. However, whereas most celebrities know the importance of appreciating their fans, Jennifer does not. She's even acknowledged being disrespectful to fans who approach her in order for them to leave her alone. Jennifer claims it's her way of defending herself against fans and paparazzi, who may have unreasonable expectations of her. She stated in an interview with Variety, "I just normally become really unpleasant once I enter a public space. That's pretty much my only means of self-defense." She goes on to say that if she sees a fan approaching her table, she will wag her finger and make a terrible expression. When others ask her for selfies, she just says no. Fans are likely to turn on her as a result of her harsh attitude over time. Number 4. Insensitive comments. Jennifer is noted for her candid remarks, but in today's world, that may get you in a lot of problems, and she's constantly being chastised for her insensitive remarks. Her remarks against Lindsay Lohan were the worst. Jennifer Lawrence upset Lindsay Lohan and her family while appearing on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert to promote a film in 2015. Lawrence began by discussing how she got a stomach virus while filming but continued to work. Then she said, quote, "I get like Lindsay Lohan, great exhaustion but without any drugs or alcohol." And even if she was joking, such kinds of remarks are bound to provoke a brawl. Alina Lohan, Lohan's younger sister, tweeted a remark almost immediately after the show aired, "I'd never breathe life into negativity, but I stand by my family." Disappointed in Jennifer Lawrence. Not cool. Lindsay Lohan immediately reacted with a quote to the tweet, "Thank you, sister. Maybe who you're referring to should learn to support others like Maya Angelou." So it's evident that Lindsay and Jen don't get along. Number 3. Unprofessional. Even though it appears to be simple, being an actor requires a great deal of effort, particularly learning lines, and deciding what you're going to do with the lines before you even start filming. Jen, despite being an Academy Award winner, does not learn her lines before arriving on set. Jen mentioned this in an interview, saying, quote, "My friend came over and asked, 'What scene are you going to do tomorrow?' And I was like, 'I'm not sure.' Is that a terrible thing? Is there a point in my career when I should begin learning my lines?" And she said, "Well, don't fix it if it ain't broke." When asked about her inability to memorize lines at a later date, she responded, "I skim through the script, but I don't memorize it. I read it and know exactly where I'm headed and what it's about. I do as little work as possible." Definitely, she adds, this method has clearly paid off for her. But I doubt the other actors or the director don't notice that she isn't following the script as closely as they are. Number 2. Taking a break. Jennifer hasn't worked on a film since 2018 and has stepped away from the profession. "I understood that I needed to take some time," she said on the Absolutely Not podcast in October of 2020. She elaborated, "We all felt like we needed a break, and the general public needed a break from me. I was in desperate need of a break." She said that she became engrossed in the Hollywood machine after taking on multiple projects. Following her big break, adding, "I discovered that once you enter this machine, you can't get out. It feels as if you need to seize every opportunity that comes your way until you're completely immersed in it." Finally, her career was taking on a life of its own, and she needed time to make some adjustments. Out of sight, however, is out of mind in Hollywood, and she is in fear of being forgotten. Number 1. Crass. Jennifer, in addition to being insensitive, can also be very crass. During her visit on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, Jen sparked a lot of tension with reality personality Lala Kent. Andy started the conversation by asking Jennifer what she thought of the Vanderpump Rules cast. Lawrence called Lala the C word as the conversation turned to her. As a response, Lala tweeted this quote, along with a slew of additional barbs at her on Watch What Happens Live. "Did Jennifer Lawrence really just call me the C word and talk about my mama? You better pray I don't see you in the streets." This was the beginning of a long series of tweets that have since been deleted. However, the gloom did not end there. Lala then went on the Juicy Scoop podcast and said Jennifer had 2 failed films in a row, according to her, and she claimed she was the type of girl who would sleep with Harvey Weinstein for a role. Despite the fact that Lawrence never responded to the shade, Lala continues to bring it up whenever she is asked about it. Alright, that's all for this video. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.